Important.
I see Cindy Kramer. Hey, Cindy, how are you? And I see Basia. Guys, I should put it back.
Hey, y'all, how you doing?
Hello, Randy. Are you skiing from the ceiling fan? What's going on with that?
Hey, listen, man, I got real skis here. I got them on. I've got them on and everything.
You've got the skis on and you're just sitting there with your feet in
I'm just sitting there with my skis on. I should get some big points for this.
I hope Kelly and Catherine and Gale are paying attention. That looks kind of dangerous. You're going to get the skis caught in the ceiling fan. Seriously.
I was about to say, don't hurt your knees, Randy.
I'll do anything to, get across the finish line, babies.
Noted, Randy. I mean,
see, Teresa, you got to run for your money there. He's running for you.
Look at Kelly. She's got the goggles going.
I know. I'm ready.
Kelly, oh my God. Those things are bigger than your actual head.
They're not normally.
The camera or what? You look like a fly. Like a tiny.
Well, normally you wear them over like a helmet, right? And so they're designed to fit inside the helmet. But my helmet needs to be replaced. So
I thought you were playing a dinosaur game on virtual reality.
Someone posted on Facebook yesterday. It was, I think it was on Nordstrom's, and they had these like diamond and Swarovski crystal encrusted ski goggles that were like $1,000. And I was like, really?
Oh
like, I wouldn't want to ski if I had those on. I just want to sit and like pose.
Well, that is half the population of Aspen. They're not skiing. They're just posing and letting you enjoy their fashion.
Touche.
Very true.
That's the person I'm coming as today. In this point in my life, I'll be sitting in the J bar having a bourbon. Cheers to that.
me too. Cheers to that.
All right, Whitney, you want to go?
Well, hi, everyone. It's 4:00 on Wednesday, and that means it's time to drink. Just kidding. That's at 11 a.m. Just kidding. Welcome to our call. We're excited that you're here this week. I see some new faces with us, and we do this each week since the dawn of time and the dawn of COVID. And these calls are, in our estimation, a lot more than just a virtual site tour. These are just a really fun crowd with beautiful destinations. And one of those that have really taken our hearts has been the Auberge family of hotels and resorts. And Gale McClurkan has been with us for, how many times is this now, Gale? 5? 5. We just love her properties. Gail is just, she always rounds up the best people for us and the best locations. And we're going to visit the wonderful Colorado properties. We're going to visit today. And we just want to do a little bit of housekeeping first. The way that this works, if you're new to this, is we're going to ask you to say hello. And then if you're not speaking today, if you'll keep yourselves muted, because we're recording this and this will live on our website from now on. So keep yourselves muted. But if you have a question for us, put it in the chat box and I'll be the moderator and make sure that those are answered at the end of the call. All right. So Carol, you want to talk to people, see what everybody has on, and welcome everybody?
Well, sure I do. And I'm going to ask you to turn the recording on so we can capture this little celebration for posterity.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay, good. All right. Well, hi, everybody. I just wanted to add what Whitney said. We're so glad to have you back in the new year. This is, I believe, our 38th or so episode of this weekly podcast, or whatever you want to call it, this series of destination experiences that we are launching on. And I just wanted to thank you guys for taking a little break with us, coming back with us, and we have some great things in store for the first quarter. So keep your eye on the Facebook page, keep your eye on your email box, and join us as much as you can. I wanted to also point out we have some future hosts with us today. So there are some faces on the call you might not recognize. I've invited a few people to sit in to see what these events are all about, and we want to show them a good time. So if anyone who hasn't spoken or shown Kelly and Gale and Catherine your outfits. If you want to say hello before they start, please do so now. And the room goes quiet. I don't know. What is up?
Hi, Carol. It's
Here's
Lori.
Lori. Hello, darling.
Hi. So
Happy New
as
Year.
Randy is representing ski, I'm representing Apres ski.
Okay, ski. I just
So-
want to know if Randy has memorized a Shakespeare sonnet, because that could put you over the edge today. So
Oh, I have the Shakespeare
you
sonnet.
do?
actually.
Oh, well,
Mhm.
the Meachams are gonna threatening you there, Teresa. You better go get your Shakespeare organized. Well, we'll let
I
you
don't know if
say
you want
that.
that now, but
No, we'll let you do it afterwards.
okay, good.
Thank you for getting that reference.
Maybe you'll forget about it.
Nope, it's I have an ironclad memory when it comes to this stuff. Anybody else want to say hello?
I just gotta say something really quick of
Okay.
this new world of 2021. I want everything to be real. So there's nothing fake in this picture. These are real skis, a real ski helmet, goggles, jacket. So everything's real here, babies.
Keeping it real, Randy. We love
Keeping
you
it
for that.
real.
No fat
Oh.
Randy.
Look at Marie. Hey, Marie. Everybody who has a fake fur collar seems to have dug it out of their closet today. That's good.
Okay, Carol, I'll go. So
Okay,
as
yeah.
opposed to Randy, I decided to go full snow bunny, which is
Snow
why
bunny.
I have ears. So I wanted to do snow bunny. And I've got on my immediate lounge clothes, as you can see, and I've got my slippers down here to boot as well. My gloves, oh, you can't see those. And my favorite hot drink with my favorite animal, the alpaca.
Oh, that's an alpaca cub. That's adorable.
Yes, cheers.
That is super cute. And you were in Aspen or Telluride today?
This is Telluride.
That's Telluride. I should have recognized.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, Beth,
Oh,
you're
and also, I
adorable.
almost forgot, I have my neck gaiter, which also doubles as a face mask.
Just
for
an
COVID.
all-purpose thing. Everybody needs
Ready
one
to
of
go.
those. And those bunny ears, are those left over for your from your Playboy days, Beth, or what?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to say hi? I forgot to mention the first 5 that we have today, but I'll let anyone speak who wants to say hi before I do that. Anybody else want to say hi?
If I missed anyone, because I.
Hi, this is Cindy Kramer. Happy New Year to everyone.
Cindy, look at you. Happy New Year to you too. You almost look like you're really there at the foot of
I wish I was. My daughter goes to the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. So
Really?
donning my Colorado ski cap, and again, wish I was sitting there in Aspen by the fire. I'm more of the Apres type.
You're the Apres. Yeah, we'll do a poll. Who's Apres and who's a ski? And I don't know. I think the Apres are going to take it today, although I could be wrong about that.
I could tube.
I don't know if you know Lori and Randy, but aren't you guys in Colorado Springs also?
We
Lori?
are. Yes.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
nice.
You've made a connection. You guys should get together.
All
for
right.
coffee or
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get out there in a couple of weeks. My daughter plays volleyball there, and their first matches are coming up. So
Oh,
And-
that's
any
awesome.
luck, I'll be there. Yeah,
Teresa's over in
We should-
Vail, so
we
we've
should
got
information.
Colorado covered today.
Yes.
perfect.
Look at you, Teresa. You look so cute. All right. Anybody else want to Anybody else want to say hi?
Hi, it's Kathy Botero. I wanted
Kathy,
to.
yay. Oh, and
Oh.
she even in Florida, she has her ski cap on. Hey,
Oh,
Kathy.
I know. Today I woke up with a chill. It was just cold, and you know what? I got big furry socks and a long sleeve shirt, and I mean the hat is just apropos. So
you
it's
you
cold here.
Floridians are kind of wusses. You do know that, right? Is
I
it
am
about
a wuss.
60? Is it 60 there now today?
Now it's 60, but early on it was like 50.
Oh, wow. Well, that's getting a little chilly. Not gonna lie.
Yes.
All right. Well, I wanted to announce, first of all, for y'all that don't know, we do acknowledge things other than dressing up. And one of those things is if you are one of the first 5 to log in before 4 o'clock, between 3:55 and 4, then you receive a gift from our host hotel, which in this case is the beautiful Hotel Jerome in Aspen and also the Madeline in Telluride. So courtesy of Catherine Stewart, there will be a gift for Melissa Barney Schaffler, Teresa Brady, Mary Hogue, and Beth Denny, and Cindy Kramer. So if those of you who have never sent me your mailing address before, we'll send that to carol@retreatsresources.com. I will pass that over to Catherine, and you can expect a gift of some sort from the resorts. So please send me your address. Whitney gave a great introduction to Gale. She has really been my most valuable player for 2020 as we try to develop ideas for interesting topics. We want to share with you all new destinations and resorts and hotels. We also want to entertain you and have some fun with theming. So coming up with week after week fresh content sometimes is challenging. And Gale is a very valued partner on the other end of the telephone sometimes when I'm trying to think of great new ideas. So Gale, we love you. I believe we've exhausted the Auberge collection pretty much. We may have to recycle some people.
I'm telling you, I know. Luckily, we're going to open 6 hotels this 2021. So
well,
hey,
okay, then we'll line you up every month or two. Thank you. But having said that, one of the folks that we haven't seen yet, we did touch on the Hotel Jerome in Aspen, which is one of my favorite hotels in the country, especially in the ski world. The Hotel Jerome kind of sits in the middle of downtown Aspen, which most of you know is a walkable city. So there's plenty of après ski as well as instead of ski because shopping there is abundant. And so it's just a delightful town. We touched on it last June when we did our Aspen community session, but we are here to go a little deeper into the Hotel Jerome. And then also in Telluride, if you haven't made it to Telluride, it is really Shangri-La. It's tucked in a valley with mountains all around it. It is really, it isn't as remote as it seems, but you really do feel like you've discovered a very special place in Telluride. And I think the thing that I love about it most is that you get around in a gondola. So the ski village is on one end of the gondola, the town's on the other, and you go up and over a mountain anytime you want to go to dinner, go to town for shopping. And it's just such a magical connection. You don't need a car. You just get on a gondola right outside the hotel and go to town for whatever reason you want. So having said that, Catherine has been a dear friend of mine for many years. We're just delighted to have her in the Auberge family now and running the sales for both the Hotel Madeline in Telluride and the Hotel Jerome in Aspen. So Gale and then Catherine, the floor is yours.
thank you so much. And yes, you guys are probably sick of me, but I'm just going to keep on coming back. So just bear with me. But thank you, you guys saying I'm the MVP. Well, you've been my MVP because it has just been quite the year. And so having something to look forward to on Wednesdays and being able to have some FaceTime has been just wonderful. And even on days like today, where it's easy to focus on the bad, we can all take an hour and get together and focus on the good. Right. And so thank you for having us again. And I'm going to kick it over to Catherine, who just so happens that we're neighbors. Unbeknownst, we are in the same little small town. So, and now lucky to work with her. So Catherine, I'll let you take it over.
That's cool.
Everybody, welcome. I'm so glad that everyone joined, and I'm going to share my screen with you. So I think I've done it. Bear with me, we practice this. Here we go. So I just want to, as Carol mentioned, and kind of took us into both Hotel Jerome in Aspen and Madeline in Telluride. I want to welcome you to Telluride. So everybody kind of close your eyes and we can open up, and here we are in downtown Telluride. So if we were here right now, it's 32 degrees. It's sunny, and maybe some of you went and had a few runs on the slopes there, and maybe went shopping downtown, or maybe just did some good day drinking, right? That's kind of more my style. Enjoy that in the many restaurants. But as Carol mentioned, I mean, I love Telluride. There are a few misconceptions that it is remote, but it's actually really easy to get to. There is the Telluride Airport that's located just downtown, and their daily flights from Denver International, and then Montrose is about a 90. it's about anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half drive, but we have multiple flights in from multiple cities. And I think the most exciting thing about this area of the country is in the time of COVID, both Southwest has started flights into that area and also JetBlue. So I just think it speaks to the area and what is going on, and how popular it is and how it's just resonating with everybody. Because it's just remote and it's safe and it's fun, and you can get out into nature. Oops, we needed to reconnect, but we're going to pop out from downtown Telluride and we are going to go up to the Hotel of Madeline. And this Madeline Hotel and Residence is located, as Carol mentioned, up in Mountain Village. And so Mountain Village sits above Telluride and we are connected by a gondola. So the one thing that I love about Madeline is you just have that best of both worlds. You have that ski village feel, but then you can pop into town. And also it's ski in and ski out. So it's really nice in the winter time. The one thing that we are very fortunate is that we have good owners and that are really invested into the property. And we just opened up on Christmas Eve, our new transformation. We transformed the lobby and all of the outlets in the lobby area. So when you come into Madeline, this is going to be your welcome into our new lobby. And we like to think of ourselves as your base camp for adventure, your base camp for connecting with your counterparts, with your family, and your base camp for creativity. And celebration, right? Because when you have incentive trips, you want to celebrate and connect and create. So that's what we we're your base camp. So when you arrive into our lobby, you are greeted at the front desk and we will either offer you a local draft beer or a local cider or water. I mean, it is high in altitude. So we just set that stage of welcoming from the beginning. And so it's a really nice, warm welcome. And I love where we've gone with everything. And then as you move into the lobby, this is our living room space. And so it is just really conducive. We use this area a lot for groups, and that welcome night, they can do a welcome reception. And then if it is in the winter, we can bring in Neve Sports, who we work with on rentals, and you can be fitted in here. So it just creates a really comfortable feel that people can come and have a cocktail, have an appetizer, get fitted, connect with their group as well. And then something else that we've done with our new transformation is, I don't know what the proper word is, but I call it the Ricola horn, like you see in the commercial. But we have one of those, and I think it's arriving this week. And so we will kick off every day. Apres ski hour is what we're calling it. So we'll do that at 4 o'clock every day, and it'll just I don't know who my lucky colleague is to wear the outfit and dress up every day to do the call, but whoever it is will be there, and then we can create some good Instagram, those photo moments for people to collect. And I think it's just a nice little touch that we're doing. And then as we go into the lobby level, this is our new timbers room. So our outlets on property, we have Black Iron Kitchen that's open for 3 meal periods, timber rooms, and we are doing for dinner and cocktails. So we will be able to use this space in the day for groups if they need it for breakfast or lunch. And then we also have a Starbucks on site as well, and in-room dining. So lots of options on property. But again, we are in Mountain Village. Lots of restaurants within walking distance and a lot of restaurant locations down the gondola. So moving right along, and this is the gondola. This is the view when you come over the mountain going down into Telluride, and it's just spectacular. So we're about 2 to 3 minutes walking out the door to the gondola, and then it's about a 15-minute ride down to town. It's open every day, and on the weekends, I think it's to 1 or 2 a.m. So I like to say those guests that like to network late into the night, and they will always have a way back home, back to the base camp. And just spectacular views from the gondola, and it's just an experience in itself. as well. And then part of winter, again, as I mentioned, we are ski in and ski out. So this would be the experience for your groups. They would walk right out the door. Their skis will be staged there, and then off they go to enjoy the slopes right out the door. So nice and easy. And then this is Reflection Plaza, which is also our ice skating rink that's right outside our doors. So it's a good little winter adventure to go out and ice skating. And then in this summer, we use that plaza, and you can use that for groups to have dinners and barbecues. Or we also, if we haven't used the space for groups, sometimes we'll bring in different music artists to come and just create just a good little festive community feel there in the plaza area. So just lots to do right outside the door. And then this picture to me is quintessential Telluride, right? It's a grounded, it's natural, you know, it's the people on their bike and their skis. You know, there's nothing pretentious about it, but they just love their nature and love getting outside and love their community. So
I'm going to cut in real quick because this is too funny. When I was there last year and Catherine was with me, this was in true Auberge style. We got on the bikes and rode this great, you know, pathway, you know, through Aspen or through the town, and then ended up at a restaurant, and then called the hotel to pick up our bikes because we drank. So you can also like do your bikes and have your fun, and then have the hotel pick up the bikes for you.
I have a story too. I mean, Catherine, you may know more about this, but apparently the thing that Telluride is known for in the summer are their parades. And so every week there's a parade of some sort, and the whole town comes out for them, and there's just various themes and ideas for these parades. And then once a year there's the nothing parade, because I guess they ran out of ideas. So the nothing parade, everyone's naked. So I'm going to do that if I can't come up with an idea for the end of January. It'll be the nothing Wednesday, and we can all come make it.
That is even. And Carol, you keep stealing my thunder. We're going to get to that. But
I'm sorry.
I didn't know about the nothing parade. Now maybe I need to plan my next trip up there around there.
Yeah, naked ski bums. I like it.
Yeah, Gail and Carol, feel free to jump in. Yeah, when you can. And then we move into the other thing about Telluride. Yes, it has beautiful skiing, and I love it. But it really is a 3-season city, and there's so much to experience. And so we're back on the gondola, and this is the gondola coming into summer. And summer is just special in Telluride, as Carol said, just lots of festivals and parades. And this is our downtown Telluride summer, right? Quintessential downtown. As Carol mentioned, the parade has a great community feel to it. It's kind of that old time, I know what you kind of wish life was like, you know, that ideal American life, but that's really what Telluride feels like in this summer. So I love the downtown area. It's just really cute and fun. And the Sheraton, not the Sheraton, the Sheraton Hotel is there. It's a historic hotel, and it's just a fun place to go in and get a drink, and just there's a lot of history there as well. And we did a great tour of that. Now I love this festival. As Carol mentioned, Telluride is full of festivals in the summer, and it starts out with our balloon festival. So they stage it downtown in the morning. And what's really fun, and I've had a couple groups that have not done this particular festival, but they're starting to do their incentives around the different festivals. So we have the Blues and Brews, it's in September. So it's just, they wanted something different. And so they're bringing their group in of 30 people and their plus ones, and they're going to enjoy that weekend of Blues and Brews. So, I mean, there's the jazz festival, the yoga festival, the ride and dive. I mean, there's just tons of festivals. And then the one famous, it's just up and coming, is the Telluride Film Festival. So you'll see a lot of new movies come out of that festival as well. So just lots to do in this summer. As well. Now, I'm going to stop when people always say, what's my favorite thing about Telluride? It's this Via Parada. I'm just joking. This scares the absolute bejesus out of me. And Gail and I, when we went up to visit the first time, we each had started with the company, and they had sent out our itinerary. and suggested this as an activity. And I didn't have the heart to say that I was too chicken to do it.
I did.
I know, I was hoping somebody else would, and Gail said no.
I said no.
I now tell everybody it's my favorite activity, but I've never done it. But it looked a lot of fun. And if I ever had like the strength and didn't have as much anxiety, I would definitely do it. But the people that have done it said it's amazing. Like our general manager has done it twice, and like it's like recommends it highly. But I'm still kind of anxious about that one.
Yeah. Gosh.
This is more my style, a little hike in the woods. And that's the other thing about Telluride is it sometimes gets the adventure or gets the misconception of high adventure, but there's a lot of nice leisurely things. I'm not a big worker outer. I always kind of tell everybody I work out like once a quarter. So like a hike is good for me. And so there's kind of something for everybody, for all your attendees or your guests that will come to do as well. And then back on the gondola in fall. I think fall is my favorite time of year in Telluride. It's just the colors are magnificent. There's nothing like it. And then the one thing that I'd like to point out is, you know, September and October, you know, for a lot of groups, it's like peak time. And so when you want to go to those destinations, those first tier destinations, and they're booked up, this is our shoulder season. So we can offer just great rates. And our ballroom is a little over 3,000 square feet. We'll do a Tuesday arrival. I know that's always hard to get sometimes at hotels, but we'll do a Tuesday arrival, and you can have all of our meeting space for as little as 30 rooms. And so it's just a great fit in that season. So just always kind of want to share that with people. And again, just easy in and out. And then this is a picture of the hotel from the front looking into the mountains in fall too. So just really pretty, great views. And then my last slide is those of you that drink Coors Light from the mountain line, this is the mountain range that it's from. So Mount Wilson. So that's a view. You see that from Mountain Village from our hotel. So just a beautiful, beautiful landscape and mountains. So this is Telluride and Madeline in 16 slides, but just a really, really beautiful location, and just a really enjoyed selling it. We have a good partnership with Telski, and they are great in that they have a lot of great venues that they own that are available for winter, like Garano Ranch, that you can do for groups. It's available for the winter and spring. And then they also provide DMC services. So they're just a good partner. Excuse me. So that's just kind of the last thing. Gail, do you have anything to add, or Carol, before we move on to?
I think the biggest thing is there's never a bad time to go. And I think that's the key thing. I've gone in the many different seasons, but there's never a bad time to go. And this looks fake, and it's not. And I think that's what really stands out about this area. I mean, it's rugged, and it's like real nature, adventurous, but it's also has so many other things to do. And there's never a bad time to go. And the people are so friendly, so friendly.
Yeah, I would ask you to address on that point. There are very few ski destinations that are pleasant in the springtime. Is this an exception then? Is it muddy and kind of gray and damp? Or
well, here's in that, Carol, that's a great point to bring up. We are connected to the gondola. I mean, and here's a fun fact about the gondola. It is, I think it's the largest complimentary form of transportation in the country, because it's free to everybody. You don't have to have a ticket. It's open to anybody to come so we're based on the gondola schedule. So the gondola closes October the 15th and then opens up right before Thanksgiving. And then in the spring, it's usually that first weekend in April that it closes till Memorial Day. But up until April, skiing is amazing because we're so high up in the mountains. I think you can still ski there, but our hotel, we follow the gondola schedule with our openings. So that's a good point, Carol.
No, I didn't know that because so many incentive programs want to pay off in that time frame of April, May, and
I know
there's these very few destinations in the mountains that are very pleasant at that time of year. So this is a good thing to keep in mind.
Well, in that first week of April, depending on when Easter falls, is a great week too. And we're open. It's that first full week we usually are, and then sometimes into the second week. So great point. Well, all righty. So everybody grab their drink, the beverage of choice, and let's head on to Hotel Jerome in Aspen. Hotel Jerome is just a completely different feel than Madeline. I like to think of it as the crown jewel of Aspen. It's historic, yet modern inside. It was built in 1889. And, you know, in the community of Aspen, you know, where a lot of ski destinations were just maybe built as a ski destination, this was actually a community. And so because it was a community and people brought in their families from the beginning, you just have a lot of arts, as Carol mentioned earlier. The food and beverage scene is amazing. The educational with the Aspen Institute. So it's just that thread throughout Aspen. And it's not only just a ski destination, but it's a community with a lot to offer. So we like to think of us as the social hub of Aspen, and it's the then and the now. And so even though it is a historic building and we've kept a lot of the historic parts, it is modern, that we have kept the hotel up to date with all the modern amenities that you would expect into a hotel, in the guest rooms and technology and that type of thing. So it's just a crown jewel. That's the best way to put it. But when you walk in, and I think, Carol, I think you're sitting in one of these pictures. I think you're in the living room.
Yes, indeed. The last time I was in Aspen, I just sat there for 2 days and read a book. It was just wonderful.
I love the living room area. And like I said, we are the social hub at Aspen. So our outlets and our restaurants are just not only popular for hotel guests, but for locals as well. But this is a living room. It's just that great place to grab a cup of tea in the afternoon or a cocktail and lounge, and it's warm and it's inviting. And so I love the living room. And again, we can use this space for a group if you wanted to, before you went to dinner and you wanted to do cocktails, we can definitely use this space. So it's just a really fun feel as well. And now then, this is our new speakeasy, and it's called Bad Harriet. And so our original owner that built the hotel in 1889, Mr. Wheeler, his wife was Harriet Macy Valentine Wheeler, and she was from the Macy family. And so this is Bad Harriet in honor of her. And so it's a speakeasy located in kind of in the basement of our Aspen Times building. And so it is really popular in the evenings as a kind of an after party destination in the community. And it's just sexy and fun. We can use this for groups. Groups love this for either a before, like a reception before dinner, or their after party spot. So it's nice and fun. So think about Harriet.
It is so cool. And when you walk in, it's much darker when you walk in. It has this feel like you're going somewhere that you maybe shouldn't be, but you are, and all the cool people are there. So it's really unique. And when we were there, it's definitely somewhere that your groups or somebody, it's perfect if you want to create that whole vibe. The old speakeasy days, your groups will love it.
What's the capacity of that room, Gail?
You know what? I mean, I've done, because we don't, we keep the existing seating. So if you're doing a standing cocktail, I would say 50 people, 50 to 60, that we can do easily. I'm just thinking in my head that's probably the largest that I've seen in there that'd be comfortable. Again, this was before COVID-19. So I think now with social distancing, you know, probably 30 would work. So yeah.
Very cool.
That's great. And then on we go. And this is our beloved courtyard. So at the hotels, you know, we sit in a half block there on Main Street. And so this is in between the Aspen Times building and the hotel. And this courtyard, it's so beautiful in the summer and fall. And this patio was packed this summer. We had our highest food and beverage, just a fun little fact, our highest food and beverage revenue ever in the hotel that Auberge has owned it. I think we've managed it for 12 years. I think that's about right, Gail. And it's just packed, but it is beautiful in the summer and the fall. You can use that for your group dinners as well. And then that front space, we call that the front lawn. So it's also an option. It's partial, it's a semi-private space if you want to use that as well for dinners, but it's just a beautiful spot. And I love sitting out there on that patio on a nice summer day. So, and then I threw this in as, since we are talking more of incentives, and this is the Aspen Times room. So again, we just have a lot of unique venues on the property that you can do dinners and receptions and breakfast. So you just kind of spice it up. So your attendees just don't feel like you're in the same space. So this sits right off the courtyard and has a patio out. Again, just something different and something to just keep in mind, that you don't have to have the same space if you're here for 3 or 4 days as well. So, and then the pool, and then just a great view of the mountains in the backdrop, and just kind of where we sit in the city. That we do have that city feel, but you can just definitely see the mountains on both sides. So very pretty. Now this is J Bar. J Bar is infamous, and those 5 winners, you're going to get a fun J Bar trucker hat to wear, and you can, it's stylish. It's kind of a must-have there in Aspen. But J Bar, it is the original bar that was in the hotel. And so what's really fun about that is the cash register. Apparently, if you've worked at the J Bar for a year and you leave, you get to sign your name. So the cash register has every bartender that's worked a year or more at J Bar that signed it. So it's just a really fun, just has some fun historical things. And then during Prohibition, it was closed and operated as an ice cream soda fountain. And so the sneaky bartenders they came up with a drink called the Aspen Crud. And what that was a scoop of ice cream, some milk, and 4 shots of bourbon. So we still offer that drink today. If you're wanting a little Aspen Crud, that is available. And that's just always a fun with groups. We offer that sometimes at that welcome night reception as a fun way to kick it up, that everybody can get like a shot of Aspen Crud to start off their day. But Hotel Jerome is just a mainstay in Aspen and just fun to go in. It's open for lunch and dinner. So just a great.
And this is the place to be seen. So if you are bored in the hotel, or you're bored and you just want to get out of your room for a little bit, just go pick a seat and just people watch, because it is the best people watching for outfits and just the whole Aspen scene. And you never know who you're going to see in this bar. It's fun.
It is definitely fun. If
you know much about this, talk a little bit. I'm sorry, you're not finished. Talk a little bit about the design and the way in which this historic hotel, which when I first started was very much a relic of the past, and the atmosphere was stodgy. The bar was always great and fun, but the atmosphere of the hotel was stodgy and dated. And then Auberge came swooping in and just did a brilliant job keeping the past alive with very, very modern touches and super comfortable soft goods and furniture and that sort of thing. What do you know about the design aesthetic, and what was in their minds about that?
Well, I think the design, I think in each different space, I think the living room, they wanted to keep kind of that Victorian look, but they've offered just that modern touch to it, so it doesn't quite feel like you're in your grandmother's home. But J Bar is probably the most original that they've kept, and that bar feel from the 1880s. I mean, this
lounge and the public space, the living room, whatever you call that. I mean, the paintings and the artwork and the furniture and just all the touches everywhere. It's very, very unique experience.
And it is very unique. And something that's fun is we have a really great, and Carol, you're just bringing up a lot of great points with the Aspen Historic Society, and they come in, I think it's daily. I'm not sure what we're doing right now with COVID. It used to be daily, but we can always schedule a tour, but they come in and they will give tours and talk about each relic of what it is in the history. And our designers have really they wanted to touch on every aspect of the history from, 1889 up until the current years, and even going back because, there was the Indians really inhabited this area before the silver was found. So we pay a tribute to that community as well throughout. But there was the Depression time when the Hotel Jerome was a boarding house, and you could get, I think it's a room for a week for $10 and a fried chicken dinner for $1. So how far we've come, right? So there's just so much history, and it's threaded throughout the hotel. So if you're a history buff and enjoy that, I mean, we have those tours available. So yeah, it's a special place. And then I just wanted to touch on our guest rooms. Again, it is the historic building, but again, we've made the guest room modern because that's what we all want. We want that modern guest room and that comfort of our current home. And so the guest rooms are large. They're start at 525 square feet. The bathrooms have that double vanity, that deep soaking tub, and the separate shower. So just again, the technology is there in the hotel as far as Wi-Fi and also all the things that we care about now. So just wanted to point that out as well. So, and then Aspen at night in the winter, it's just beautiful. And I know Carol and Gail had kind of mentioned this, that y'all had kind of touched on Aspen as a community back in June, but I'll touch on it from a winter perspective. And us as a hotel is that we are located on Main Street. We do partner with Gorsuch, and so we do offer ski fitting on property. They have their own kind of storefront that's on property that we can do, and then we provide the shuttles to all 4 of the mountains. So you have easy access to skiing. So you can go ski in the day and then come back and have that cocktail at either the living room or J Bar. So it's just easy access as well. So, and then I love a good summer parade there in Aspen, and Carol touched on this, so much shopping, high-end shopping, a lot of art galleries available. And then one thing I will point out is, Aspen, our rates are pretty high in the summer, but there's this one special week, and it's the week after the full 4th of July, that we can offer value. So if you have a group that wants a summer experience, but maybe just has a little tighter budget, think of us, because we definitely can add some value, and it's a great time to be in Aspen and just a fun time right after the 4th. So, and then just even though we're known for the shopping and the high-end fashion and all that, but there is still lots of nature in Aspen and the surrounding areas in the summer and fall, and horseback riding and all the fun stuff that you would expect. And then I think Kelly had the maroon bells in her background, and maybe somebody else, yep. George, I think that's too. But I love the maroon bells. I mean, what a beautiful mountain. And again, I mean, it's just, in the summer is beautiful, and then in the winter, wanted to end with that as well. So that's Hotel Jerome. I'll just say getting to Aspen, just a reminder, I'm sure they touched on it in June, is we are just 4 miles from Aspen Airport. All the major airlines fly. It's the larger airplanes, usually the 737s. So the runway's big, so it's easy in and out. And then we do provide shuttle service to and from the hotel. So that's a nice touch. It's included in the resort fee. And so that's just a nice touch. So that's Hotel Jerome in Aspen in a nutshell. And I don't have anything else. Gail, do you have anything that you'd like to add, or Carol?
Yeah, I just want to tell everyone too, what Catherine is been with us over. We started about the same time, so we traveled to these hotels for the first time together. But she's amazing to work with, and so if you have anything, even if you think it won't work or there's no way, just let Catherine take a chance. She's gets back to you so quickly. She's fun to work with. And we would just love, these hotels are absolute. This was my first Auberge visits when I started with the company, so they're special. And I know Carol's a huge fan of the Colorado hotels, but it's just incredibly beautiful. They're completely different, and they're incredible. So we would love the opportunity to welcome you. If you find yourself not doing a program with us, or you're on vacation and you're staying somewhere else, please let us know, because that's our best opportunity to just give you a little taste of Auberge. So let us know, and we'll hook you up at J Bar to have a cocktail, or in Telluride, we'll welcome you out to the patio with the fire. So just let us know. We'd love to welcome you anytime that you find yourself in the area.
Thanks, Gail, and thank you all so much for coming today. I know Carol mentioned it. It's a different day in our country, so but I appreciate it. It is a break that we have, that we can all be together, and it's interesting. You know, I call it life in the time of COVID. The one thing that I'm so grateful for is the industry that I work in, that we take care of each other. And you know, I worked with Carol back in the day at Mandarin Oriental, and just to reconnect with her. And I love our industry. I love what we bring to our communities and what we bring to our workplaces. So so glad y'all can make it today. So
Catherine, we have one question.
Sure.
What are the rates like in November? We've been asked.
Which property?
Okay,
Try
those are great questions. So in Aspen for Hotel Jerome, and I should have checked that chat. I'm not good at multitasking, people. So for Jerome in November, I would say we can do the high threes, so like a 375 to a 395. And then in Telluride, the interesting thing is we open Thanksgiving week. So we're not open that first part of November, and Thanksgiving week, it's more of a prime time because it's Thanksgiving week. But if you can kind of switch over to December, those 3 weeks between Thanksgiving and December, I mean, you're looking at the high twos to low threes at Telluride.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's just that need time. And I'll tell you, in Telluride, for the snow, because we're in high elevation, the snow, I mean, this Thanksgiving people were skiing and there was good snow. And come December, I mean, there was good snow. Aspen, it does, certain mountains have better snow, but Telluride has great snow in that 1st of December. So
That's good to know. Those first 3 weeks in December, a lot of
yeah. And Hotel Jerome too. I mean, those first 3 weeks, I mean, you can get some good value too during that time. So yep.
What a great time to be in these mountain towns.
I know.
Before the holidays, and everyone's shopping is great.
And I like that December part because it's decorated for the holidays, and it's just that holiday spirit. So yeah, it's fun.
Fantastic.
Well, that's the only question that popped up. Most of the comments were just,
well, let me, I'm going to look at my comments now. Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Golf. Someone wrote me golf in November.
You know what? I have not, I'm going to be honest. I've not been asked that question if golf is open year round. You know, if you'll give me the name, I can definitely find out what courses. I mean, we have so many courses in Aspen. But if you'll send me that name, Whitney, and I'll find that out and email that information out. And if you want to know, chat me and I'll include you too. So
snow golf.
Sure will.
I have a great Telluride story, but I'll hold it till after everybody's done talking. And anybody that wants to stick around for my Telluride story.
I now want to, I'm staying, Carol, you're not going anywhere. I want to hear your fun Telluride story.
It's a bit of a story, but it's pretty funny. And it has to do with remoteness of Telluride. But let's do our prizes and awards first. Does anybody else have any questions of either Gail or Catherine? Comments? Can we extol the virtues of Aspen and Telluride as just perfect mountain town experiences? It's just bliss, both of them. Silver mining.
I can just, if I could just say real quickly that being here in Colorado, we've only had the opportunity of going to Telluride once in our life, and we just can't wait to go back. It'd be a spectacular place to have any kind of a meeting or incentive. Aspen too, of course, but Telluride's awesome.
I think it's a decent drive for you. I think it's a beautiful drive from you. I drove from Aspen to Telluride a couple of years back, and it was just a glorious experience in the summer. I can't remember how long it took to get there, but it's doable.
Well, we're going to brag, but anywhere you drive from Colorado is always beautiful.
That's true, Randy. Can't argue.
It really is.
Aww. No, thank you for those. Yeah, Telluride is pretty special. So
So Julie's saying, I went to Telluride and stayed at the M. I guess that's the Madeline, right, Julie?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makes me happy.
My favorite place to ski. All right, you guys are going to make me tell this story. Do y'all want the suspense of who's going to win these packages, or do you want my story? We've got a few minutes.
Oh, story, come on.
All right.
Story, I'm still looking at everybody.
I'm in Telluride, at which, huh? It does kind of give you the sense of it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it feels remote, but that's the charm of it. It feels like God has plunked you down in Shangri-La. It's just a very magical place. And so we're leaving. I'm leaving with my friend Sona, and it's really super early in the morning. We're going to Montrose, and this car picks us up to take us to the airport. And the driver, gotta say, I'm an old lady, but this driver was adorable, super cute. And so we get in the car, and I'm kind of paying attention to him because he's cute, but my friend Sona starts talking to him, and they're blah, 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 blah. And they started out by talking about nature and how beautiful Telluride is. And somehow or another, the kid said, this guy, the driver said, well, you know, my mother worked for the Carter administration, and she was the first woman to be in charge of the environmental, it wasn't even called the EPA then, but something to do with the environment. And that started a discussion with me. You know, I kind of woke up then after spending about the first half hour dozing. And I said to him, oh, you must be from Atlanta. And he said, yes, I am. And I said, well, I'm from Atlanta. And we started on this, you know, who do you know kind of conversation. And it turned out we started talking about, he said, well, my dad was an educator and my mother worked for the government in the environmental area. And he started talking about independent schools. And his father was a headmaster of a school similar to the one that my kids went to. So I told him that my kid, we first started talking about where his dad was. And then we started talking about Paideia School. Those of you who are in Atlanta may know Paideia School. My kids went to school there. So I have two children. I have a daughter who gave me a lot to brag about, and I have a son who didn't give me that much to brag about. So I started talking about my daughter. And I'm like, well, did you know Susanna Miller, blah, 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 because they were about the same age. And I'm talking about her, thinking, well, I'm just going to sweep my son under the blanket. And he says to me, well, I didn't know her very well, but I was a real good friend of her brother, Dave. And I'm like, well, that was my son. So we just had this great conversation of all the gin joints in all the world. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning in Telluride on our way to Montrose. And here I have this homeboy from Atlanta who had gone to school with my kids. So that's my Telluride story.
That's a good one.
It's a cute story. Meanwhile, I'm texting my daughter. I'm texting both of my kids then saying, I'm in the car with William Smethurst. And my daughter's freaking out because apparently he was the heartthrob of their class. She's like, you're in the car with William Smethurst? Are you kidding me? So there was lots of excitement there. And then we all became friends on Facebook. And that was my story.
Oh, I love that.
I know. He's a performer there. He actually performs at the Madeline. He's a fishing guide too. He's a
Carol, I thought you were heading toward the naked parade route. I was just completely ready for that.
I totally did too.
Yeah.
Story. Sorry.
Cute story, but really not what I was expecting at all.
I thought Carol was going to tell us she was like the banner woman in the naked parade. Like, I carried the banner because I wanted to hide part of like.
Right, you know, for how long? Oh, no.
All right. Well.
All right. So, Gale, you got some assessments here.
I hate making these decisions. Ugh. I think we are going to. Oh gosh. I did get a note that Teresa's computer died. Through her thing because it was so cold outside.
Because she was outside.
Yeah. So I think she's going to get the reward for hanging in there, going outside, having her computer off, and sitting out in the cold. So she will get 3 nights, 4 days with breakfast included at her choice of the Madeline or Hotel Jerome.
Wow.
This is Teresa.
Yay.
See? Look, and that fire is smoking and she's got her wine. You look all cozy. Are you indoors now or outdoors?
I'm outdoors.
Still outdoors. Wow.
I'm still outdoors. Yes. My red wine is cold, so I've stopped.
That's my keeper. And you're a proud Georgian today, aren't you, Teresa?
I'm glad I'm not in Georgia today.
No, but you're a proud Georgian today.
Oh, well, yes.
Georgian.
Living in Colorado.
Exactly. So Kelly, have you got something to say about this?
Well, I was planning on I do have something to say. I want to add to Gail's prize and sweeten the deal for Teresa, because I think she could probably use some ski goggles, which I really find are not always the easiest thing in the world to come by. So your choice of Zeal Optics ski goggles from us too.
Thank you.
So when you go hit the slopes, you're outfitted and protected.
And Randy's saying from the ceiling with his skis in the air. I don't know, Randy, is there a booby prize?
I don't know.
A good effort, though.
Thank you.
And he's going to take his dog. He's going to take his little puppy dog with him.
Yeah, little Boo.
I'll hook up with Randy. Randy and I.
Little
Randy
Boo
and I
looks
go
like
way
she
back.
would fit in
Oh,
the
so there's
backpack.
going to be a hookup here with Randy, Lori. Are you still paying attention? Because
Paying attention.
I want to supervise that. All right, so next week, everyone, we are going back to our other favorite host, and that is Nuria Kandel, and she's taking us to Paris next week. So
Ooh.
get ready. It's Nuria in Paris, and we're going to just talk fashion and food and culture and two of the most gorgeous hotels in Paris in the Dorchester collection. So
I'm gonna have to join for that one.
oh, you have a blanket invitation, my friend. Anytime. Anytime. All right. Well, it's 4:55. The world has not come to an end that I'm aware of. I'm watching the notifications and everything seems to be
almost.
The world is teetering on the brink, but for now, I think we're.
Carol, our theme next week will be anything French.
Anything French that you want to do. Oui. You know that Nuria. You know that Nuria is going to be the best, most elegant tour guide imaginable. So we're really excited about that next week. Yeah, Nuria in Paris. Anybody see the Emily in Paris series on Netflix?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Great show.
Yeah, great show. Delightful. So that's going to be Nuria's time to shine. And hey, I'm looking for ideas for the next quarter. So if anybody has any ideas for me, please send them to me. I've got a couple of people on the call today that are going to be presenting, but I'm not ready to announce that yet. So we've got a really fun lineup coming up. So get ready. Stick with us.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you all for being here. We hope
Thank you for joining. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Hunker down.
Ski safe.
Bye, everyone.